Hello, everyone. Welcome to our amazing and fun France destination training. I'm going to be sharing the knowledge that I personally have. I've been to France multiple times to different regions of France. I also did some research on this. So hopefully this will be very helpful for you and your clients. So first of all, we're going to be taking a virtual trip to the most romantic, the most visited, and I'd say honestly, the most Instagram worthy destination in the whole entire world. And yes, we are talking about France. And then people are joining. All righty, France. Here's a fun fact that'll blow your mind. Okay. And I am reading through some notes here if you guys see me not really looking at your faces here. Actually, I can't even see your faces, but let's just get started. This is going to blow your mind. France, it welcomes over 89 million visitors every single year. Think about that. That's more than the entire population of Germany. And guess what? Every single one of those visitors is a potential client for you and me and all of us travel agents. Now, why should you care about mastering France? Because this country is like the Swiss Army knife of destinations because it literally has something for everyone. If you have somebody who is a hopeless romantic, who's looking for a romantic trip, maybe a honeymoon or anything love, you got to send them to the Provence. If you have somebody who wants more of a luxury feel in France, you send them to the French Riviera, baby. And then if you have some people who are obsessed with history, what we do is we send them to and again, by the way, my French sucks. I remember I used to sing French music and it was the hardest language, but I'm going to try my best. So where you send your history people is the Loire Valley castles because they got a lot of castles there with a lot of history. And if they're obsessed with history, this is what it is. This is where you send them. So by the end of this training, you'll be able to match any client with their perfect French experiences faster than they're going to learn how to say bonjour. I'm not kidding. I'm going to give you all the details here. So grab your coffee, and I have my tea here because I don't drink coffee and I love tea. So grab your coffee, put on, you know, take your nose, get ready, and let's dive in. So before we start, before we start planning any dream vacations, I want us to get to know the France basics first. So think about this as your France cheat sheet, okay? First up, location. France sit pretty in Western Europe. And here's what makes it so perfect for travelers is that it borders 8 different other countries in Europe. That means your clients can easily hop from France to Switzerland or to Italy, anywhere, or they can pop over to Spain for some Spanish flamenco action. By the way, we've seen that show. It was so nice. So make sure you get that in as well into the itinerary if they're going to Spain. Size-wise, we're talking about the largest country in Europe. That's over 247,368 square miles of pure, different variety. So to put that in your perspective, you could fit Texas into France and still have room for a nice Bordeaux vineyard. Literally, that's all your backyard. So if we're talking about money, they use the euro, obviously, which makes it super easy for your clients traveling through multiple European countries because no currency exchange headaches at all. And now here's your selling point for nervous first-time travelers. English is wildly spoken in all touristy areas, and your clients, they won't be playing charades trying to order their croissant or their baguette. I don't know how you're going to explain that, but you know what I mean. I've seen people do that. So best time to visit France is April through October. That's the golden time. But here's the insider secret because peak season is June through August. And we're in France this June, July, end of June, beginning of July. And even though it's a peak season, it wasn't that bad. It was actually very nice. Actually, like not too many people. Maybe it was just that weekend. I don't know. But we had an amazing, amazing time. And I'm letting everybody in here. Also, shoulder season. Smart agents would book shoulder seasons for their clients, which is April, May, September, October. We always went in September because school starts, less people. It is a little bit cheaper, but you still get that nice summer weather. Same beauty, better prices, fewer crowds. And your clients, they will thank you. And here's your conversation starter as a travel advisor is that France has 49 UNESCO World Heritage Sites And that's more than most countries have McDonald's locations. Isn't that crazy? All right, so let's talk about the getaways or the gateways, right? The airports. Because the first step to any amazing French adventure is obviously knowing where to land. Depending on your client, what they're looking for, as I mentioned, we'll talk about it more. You'll know which airport you're going to. First of all, we have the CDG, as we call it. It is your main player. This airport literally handles 32 million passengers a year and connects to pretty much everywhere. Okay. And when clients say, I want to go to France, this is it. CDG is usually your answer. But don't sleep on Orly, ORY. It's Paris's second airport, perfect for European connections and domestic flights. So sometimes you'll find better deals here, especially for clients already in Europe.
Hey,
Let's mute everybody, please. Okay. All right. Now, here's what it gets fun for different client types, right? We're going to look at our clientele. We're going to ask them, we're going to see what they want. If they're looking for luxury, you want to head them straight to the French Riviera, which is Nice, NCE. And that is your golden ticket. It'll take you to different little towns in the Riviera. They land and they're literally 20 minutes from Monaco Glamour, right? If you have people who are foodies, you head them to Lyon. Lyon gets them right into the most gastronomical capital without the Paris detour. And then we got Marseille, which is perfect for those Provence, lavender fields, people who want those pictures of dreamy fields and vineyards and lavenders, whatever. They can start their romantic countryside adventure immediately. People are just joining here today. All right, and then Toulouse. That's your getaway to Southwest France. So you're going to think more about like wine countries, those gorgeous medieval towns, your history loving clients, anybody who likes that kind of stuff, they're going to obsess over Toulouse. So instead of going to Paris and taking a train, you can just have them straight to TLS for that stuff. So as a travel agent, here's a pro tip for you guys. You always want to check regional airports for your specific itineraries, okay? That's what I do and that's what works best in my opinion, in my practice of doing this. Sometimes flying into Nice instead of Paris can save your clients 4 or more hours of travel time and money as well. And when you're in Paris on a 2 week itinerary, you don't have all day to get to a certain destination. Sometimes overpaying by $80 might be the smartest choice, which will make you there at the destination like 5 hours before you would come using a train. That's what I do. It's very smart to do that. And I do also tell my clients about that as well. So the French regions and client matching, you're getting into the good stuff here, okay? The art of client matching, we have to be a pro at that. And this is where you become a travel psychologist, okay? Let's get started with the Paris region. Ile-de-France. Again, my French is horrible. I'm going to do my best, but you guys can read and see that I'm trying here and you understand, right? That's the Paris region we're talking about. This is your bread and butter for first timers. If you haven't been to France, this is where you would have them go. When someone says, I've never been to France, Paris is a non-negotiable. It's got everything. It's got world-class museums. It has shopping that'll make your credit cards max out in a good way, right? And then restaurants with more Michelin stars than you can count. I've been to a lot of really good restaurants in France and Michelin star restaurants and absolutely amazing, very good and very worth it. And it's also perfect for culture vultures and luxury lovers. So now when you talk about Provence, this is where romance goes to live its best life. You get to see the endless lavender fields. You have the hilltop villages that look like fairy tales. Also markets that overflow with local foods, local treasures. Honestly, it's more like the villages back in our, countries, like not the main city, but the little cities or the villages around the city. So this is what Provence is like. So when a couple comes to you talking about their anniversary trip or a honeymoon, Provence is going to be your secret weapon because wine enthusiasts also lose their minds here because that's the number one place to go for wines as well. French Riviera, the Côte d'Azur, this is where you send clients who want to feel like celebrities. We're talking about glamorous resorts. We're talking about Porsches, Lamborghinis. We're talking about very fancy $1 million cars and homes and yachts. the Mediterranean beaches, casinos where James Bond would feel at home if you guys seen the movie. We've actually been to Monaco in June and we saw that casino. It's right here, this picture here. This is like the main plaza in Monaco. I'm telling you, everything is so beautiful there. If your client mentioned they want to live luxuriously for a few days or see how the other half of the world lives, this is it. You've got the French Riviera. Okay. Here's your client's consultation secret, guys. Listen for keywords. Always listen for keywords when you talk to your clients. And I'm sure you guys do that, but this is just a little reminder. If they say they want romantic, you send them to the Provence. If they say they want a luxury stay, send them to the Riviera. There's many cities in the Riviera that are luxury. If they want something more culture, French culture, send them to Paris because they're going to see everything there. If you have first timers, I would suggest Paris plus one other region. You'll connect it the way you want it, but like definitely add another region. It's honestly that simple. Just listen to the keywords and you'll know what to do. There's more. There's more to France, obviously. France has regions that will make your specialty clients absolutely go crazy because we have the Loire Valley. Again, this is Castle County people. If your clients is into like history or watch some of those medieval movies or whatever, this is going to be their paradise in France. We're talking about Renaissance chateau. We're talking about like different castles, really. They're architectural masterpieces with royal gardens that'll make Versailles jealous. Versailles is the castle, the palace in near Paris. Wine lovers, they get a bonus here too at this Loire Valley. This is where they go for that. Normandy. Oh, Normandy is so pretty. My parents have been to Normandy this spring, and I'm jealous because I never make it there, but I'm pretty sure I will. This is where everything gets very emotional. This region is perfect for history people, okay? Especially World War II veterans and their families. This is where you would want to send them. Okay, the D-Day beaches are incredibly moving, and this is the gold one here. This is the Mont Saint-Michel. It's literally a medieval abbey and a tidal island that looks like something from Game of Thrones. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's beautiful. Plus, your clients, they can try authentic different cheeses and then apple brandy. That's what they're known for. Honestly, this place is all history with a delicious side. Very, very good stuff there and very beautiful. Burgundy. This is all about wines. This is the mecca of wines. The vineyards produce some of the world's most expensive wines. Medieval Boine or Boine, I can't read that, but this is also a gorgeous place to go. Also Google that and see why. And this is where Dijon mustard actually comes from. True story, okay? Perfect for slow travelers who want to savor every single moment, enjoy, be in the moment, talk to the locals. Literally not very touristy, but also very, very homey and comfortable. And then also the Alsace, I cannot pronounce it, but I've been there, but I've been there in the summer. It is so gorgeous. It's tiny. It's like Beauty and the Beast. If you have seen Beauty and the Beast, they got those gingerbread houses, literally Beauty and the Beast vibes, okay? This is your Christmas magic region. You got your half-timbered villages that look like gingerbread homes, so beautiful. They have world famous Christmas markets and Riesling wine routes that people absolutely love. Colmar is where I've been to. There's Strasbourg. These are the towns that are very picturesque and that they almost look fake. Literally. That's why I went there. I was like, man, this looks like a picture. Like somebody just drew colorful gingerbread boxes on houses. Looks like a picture. We went there, legit, just like the picture. And then there's me standing with this beautiful background. Here's what makes you a rock star agent, guys, is when your clients say we want something different, you don't panic, right? You open this video recording, you watch it, and you got yourself 4 amazing regions that most people have never, ever even heard of because all they think France is Paris or maybe Nice or in Monaco next to it, even though it's a different country, but it's on Paris, on France lands, part of that, right? So yeah, you're going to send them there and they're going to absolutely love that. Somebody else is joining. Yay. Okay. Let's talk about the greatest hits. Okay, this is something for us to remember. The cities that should be on your first timers France bucket list. Obviously, Paris is number one because it's a city of light, it's a city of love. If you want them to say something like, I can't believe I'm actually here, this is where you send them. Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, the Notre Dame, the Palace of Versailles. These aren't just attractions, they're honestly life experiences. They also have this cool park where I don't remember what it's called. Maybe some of you do. My parents have been there as well. It's like a miniature city of Paris. Miniature. So they're literally walking like the Eiffel Tower is up like up to your shoulders. And I don't know, it's just really cool. It's really cool to watch and see Paris from the top. Really nice experience. Nice comes in as number two, obviously, second popular city in France because it's the perfect introduction to the French Riviera. You got beautiful beaches, you got charming old towns. Also, it's a nice gateway to Monaco and Cannes. Your clients get luxury without a price tag when they go to Cannes, when they go to Nice. It's kind of like Monaco, but like a little cheaper, but still super beautiful and the same. Lyon is number three, and that's where you'd send your foodies. Okay. That's the capital, the gastronomical capital of France for food. Okay. UNESCO Old Town, Renaissance architectures, restaurants that honestly are gonna blow their minds. Very good food, seafood too. Oh, so good. Then we got Bordeaux. That's the wine capital of the world. Okay, elegant architecture, riverside charm that makes every single sunset look like a painting, and perfect for sophisticated travelers. So that's a good one. Strasbourg gives you that unique German-French blend, or Colmar. They're literally like 30 minutes not far from each other. Strasbourg will give you that unique German-French blend. Plus, it's home to the European Parliament. Interesting fact. And then Christmas market season here is absolutely magical. Like I said, I've been and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so, so beautiful. Marseille rounds out our top six. It's gritty. It's authentic, it's multicultural. Here will change your clients' lives being here. I also heard it's one of the most dangerous cities in Europe. So if you want to check it out, go. I know people who've been there and they say it is not, but for some reason it is rated as one of the most dangerous cities in Europe. Pro tip for first timers, always recommend Paris, but one other city. Okay. Don't just stick with Paris. Okay. Don't overwhelm your clients, but give them variety, like maybe Paris and Nice or, whatever. Whatever. Perfect first France experience is combining Paris with something else. We're going to talk about the hidden gems of France. Let's talk about the places that'll make your clients feel like they discovered a secret. Just look at these pictures, and isn't it beautiful? And that's not even everything. Those are just some pretty pictures I found. These are your hidden gems. These are perfect for repeat visitors. I would definitely go back to all of them again, or clients who would want to avoid crowds and see something extra, something special. So we know Calmer, right? I'm not kidding when I say this looks like a fairy tale. I have pictures where I couldn't find them. I should look through, I don't know where they're at, honestly, but I have pictures of me there and it's so beautiful. Like I said, half timbered houses and every color of the rainbow. Pretzels are shaped of hearts, super cute. They have canals, they call the little Venice there. So it's very photogenic. We were on the little river boat in the Little Venice Canal, and you're in the boat, right? You're just like, swimming, or what do you say, right? You're in the boat and you got these swans next to you. Beautiful swans. I've never seen swans like this before in my life. I did after in Prague. They're also known for that. But like you're swimming next to the most beautiful birds and they're just chilling next to you. It was such a magical moment. I remember very, very much, and actually very good for couples too. If you guys want to, they can actually go there. Very romantic there. Perfect for romantic couples and Instagram people who want some Instagrammable pictures. This is it. We've got the Annecy in the Alps. They call it the Venice Alp, the Alps. And when you see that crystal clear lakes surrounding you with snow-capped mountains, I'm telling you, it is out of this world. You're going to understand why if you go there and if your clients go there. It's also very medieval old town. So you got some really nice pristine natures like you see in the pictures here. Perfect for active travelers who like to hike, who loves adventures. And we also have the lots, Rocamadour, I think that's how we say it. This one's very dramatic, and I added in here because it's very different. So basically medieval sanctuaries that are built inside of a cliff. like a cliff face, okay? With stunning views that take your breath away. It's also one of those pilgrimage sites. So it's not fancy, it's not village, but it's very like in between and different. So also very Instagram worthy locations. And here's why these gems are gold for our businesses as travel agents is when clients come back from these places, they become your biggest advocates because they feel like you gave them something special that their friends have never experienced. And they're going to share that with their friends. And guess what? Those friends are going to come to you and you're going to book their next trip. So when you find those little gems everywhere you go, that's what makes it extra special. That's what I learned after our first ever Europe trip. I know people go to the most touristy places, which we did too and still do, but I always add that little extra town. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And now when you share about it, which actually I shared about it throughout the years, I see people constantly going to those little towns because it is so, so worth it. Let's talk about living like royalty. The picture here is Palace of Versailles. It's not what I'm going to talk about just yet, but French chateaux aren't just buildings. Remember that. They're time machines that transport your clients back into those days of the kings and the queens. Very different, very beautiful. For example, Chateau de Chambord. I think I said that right. There you'll see the crown jewel of the Loire Valley. Francois the First. It's built. He built his hunting lodge there. But honestly, calling it a lodge is like calling Taj Mahal a nice, beautiful, big building. Literally. So the roof line of this chateau alone has 440 rooms. And it's a double spiral staircase. Like it's beautiful. Imagine just a rooftop right here having 440 rooms. That's insane. Legend says, here's a fun fact, that Leonardo da Vinci designed that staircase, that double spiral staircase. Isn't that cool? So Mont Saint Michel technically is an abbey. It's not a castle, but it's so spectacular that we have to include this into this presentation in Normandy. So this UNESCO site sits on Tidal Island, which means twice a day the causeway disappears. So it becomes completely surrounded by water, okay? In its medieval architecture, honestly, and then the water gets back in. It's just beautiful, very medieval, very, I don't know, it's very dramatic, very dark colors, but so unique that you have to see it if you have the opportunity to see it. Go to Normandy, check it out. It is breathtaking. I mean, I just saw pictures online, it's breathtaking, but seeing my parents there in the videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you're back in history. Honestly, it's very, very nice. So we also have the Palace of Versailles. You see the picture below. This is the ultimate royal experience. So if you have somebody in Paris, make sure you take one full day to go to the Palace of Versailles. This is practically a full day experience. It's like 40 minutes or about up to an hour away from Paris. You can take it by train, which we did, or you can do an actual tour. But it would be nice to make sure you secure tickets before for your clients because after COVID they limit on everything now and there's a limit of people that can be in, so make sure you have tickets. You see the Hall of Mirrors there. If you don't know what the Hall of Mirrors is, guys, oh, you're missing out. Google it. It's literally a huge hall with beautiful chandeliers and you got mirrors everywhere. And if you look at like older movies of like kings and queens and they're all dancing, you can see that a lot of them are taken there in the Hall of Mirrors. This Hall of Mirrors is going to leave your clients speechless. Marie Antoinette's estate gives them that, oh my gosh, this is a fantasy. And Marie Antoinette, so the king, when we were there, they also have go-karts in the back. They have a huge garden, which again, you need a full day for this, right? There's a huge garden in the back with its own little lake and it has also little boats like in Venice, kind of like gondolas. And you guys can go there. They've got a little cafe there, I remember. Honestly, like such a cool experience. Just a very relaxing day in the castle and in the palace. And so the king apparently did, built another castle for Marie Antoinette, her estate. And it's like another castle in the backyard. I mean, telling you, it's crazy what they've done back then, but that was hers. So pro tip, you book the skip the line tickets, okay? 100%, or your clients will spend half their day in line, which is true. I'm so glad we had our tickets and we made it in there. And then we got lucky because they don't have enough go-karts for everyone, but we got lucky. They sell the go-karts in the back behind the palace. And they have music from back then, like the string quartets, and they also tell stories of everywhere you're going. So it's like another tour. You're just me and my husband driving, enjoying, taking pictures with like music in our cart. Very nice, very romantic. Also, chateau. There's another chateau called the Ladies' Castle because it is managed by women throughout the history. It literally spans a river, and the Renaissance guards are so perfect they look painted. I'm telling you, France is honestly so beautiful that we can't stop talking about it. There's so many things there to see, and everybody going there will absolutely love it, regardless. So for castle lovers, you're gonna have them go to the Loire Valley. The chateau hopping is huge. They can look through different palaces. You can easily visit 3 to 4 of them, chateaus or chateau, whatever, in this is the word right here, okay, in a day with proper planning. Okay, so you can plan it out for them. They can see there 3 or 4 of them. And then obviously the history people, clients, they'll think you're a genius planning it out for them. Let's talk about food. Let's feed some of our souls. I'm actually eating a sweet apple roll. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's French or not, but it's very, very good. Your clients, if they're foodies, these are the 3 cities that you will make sure you go there. Okay. Make sure you have them go there. Everywhere else, it's honestly, this is one of the best places. First of all, Lyon, the undisputed gastronomical capital of France. This is where Paul Bocuse, if you heard of him, I've watched a cooking show not long ago and I've heard his name pop up a few times, created culinary magic and traditional foods served that'll make your clients obsess because it's really, really good. You got praline tarts. I mean, every meal in France, especially in Lyon, is a masterpiece. They put in the love into it. They make it good. If you haven't had it before, you're missing out. I would literally fly to Paris, which we did, by the way. We flew to Paris for a few days just so we can have some crepes. Crazy. It's just the flights were cheap. That's why. But it's a crazy fun experience that we did. Lyon has more restaurants per capita than anywhere else in France. This is the foodie place. Bordeaux is it's not just about wine. The wine there is very incredible. Pastries are a local obsession there as well. Fresh oysters from the nearby bay. You got duck confit that melts in your mouth. We've had that, by the way, in Nice. It was really good. Plus, wine tours here, they aren't just for tasting, they're educational and they teach you about wines. You can really take a nice tour there and learn more about it if you don't drink, like I don't drink. So we just went there and it was just very beautiful and very interesting to find out. And plus, Marseille, this is where you get the authentic Mediterranean flavors. You got some really good soups that they do. They're very popular. It's honestly a very religious food experience for people. You got fresh seafood, you got the herbs, the lavender herbs and all that. Food markets that honestly assault, I would say, your senses in most wonderful ways. Very good food. Surprisingly, when we came back from France in July, I did not gain any weight, but I felt like I ate everything and everywhere because it just smells so good and you really want to try it. And it looks really pretty too. They really put in the artwork and like make sure it's very presentable, so pretty. So here's the foodie client secret. Always ask your clients about their restrictions. What if they can't have gluten? Maybe this is not the best place to go for them, right? But ask about their food adventures. Like, are they ready to try new foods? Or maybe they're more like, I want to stick with what I eat and then just don't go to all these places and waste some time if they're all there for food, you know? So yeah. Anyways, want Michelin stars? Lyon is the way to go. If you have conservative eaters, the Bordeaux is good. If you got some adventurous palates that people want to try everything else, you got Marseille. And I would so go there because I love Mediterranean food. That's mine. Time to talk about glamour here. The French Riviera is where your clients can live like celebrities, and you can see this is me in Monaco. Even if they want to live like celebrities for a week, send them there. They'll thank you later. The French Riviera is a year-round destination, but May through September is where the magic really happens. This is where celebrities come to be seen. This is where luxury yachts cost more than most people's houses. And this is where simple lunch can cost you more than a car payment. And honestly, it's worth every penny. I will say we have spent a lot of money on lunch per person. Um, a lot. I'm not going to go into details. If you think $100 is a lot, you're going to spend more there. I mean, you can find something cheaper. You can go to a little cafe. It's still really good. But like, we just wanted to experience what people usually go to the popular restaurants, but it's so good and it is honestly worth every single penny. Your clientele here is basically luxury travelers who want the best of everything. They want to see celebrities or people who want to feel like celebrities. You got people who are obsessed with yachts and the luxury lifestyle. Anyone whose Instagram needs a serious upgrade, I would say this is it. Go to the French Riviera. The key cities obviously is Nice. It is your gateway. You got elegant, you got accessible, you got beautiful there. Cannes is where the film festival happens, with pure glamour and fancy people, like rich dresses and Louboutins and all that stuff. I did wear my Amazon dresses in Monaco. I did not feel cheap there. I still feel very beautiful. Just saying, if you want Monaco, that's where you get to see the billionaires, how they live. And Monaco, again, this is the waterfront there. We saw whose name? Abramovich. His yacht was there, the black yacht. We Googled, it was crazy. And like billionaires are living there, okay? Um, Let's see. Antibes, I can't pronounce it, but that also gives you luxury with a little bit more authenticity. Activities range from beach clubs where a daybed can cost $200 to art museums with priceless collections. Literally. From casinos where you can lose a fortune to a yacht. Charters where you can live like royalty. But we did go to a daybed in Nice, I remember, and I don't know, it was like 160 euros or something like that. It wasn't bad at all, but like it was probably the best money investment ever because we had a beautiful beach and they also have a beach club. It is a beach club. They have a beautiful beach with amazing food. Probably the best food we had was on that beach. We still talk about it to this day. So Monaco, Grand Prix, the Cannes Film Festival, luxury shopping, these aren't just events for people. These are once in a lifetime experiences that your high-end clients will never forget. So keep that in mind. France is where luxury is. Also, speaking of luxury, let's talk about seeing the Riviera from the water because sometimes the best views of the paradise is from a yacht, right? The Western Caribbean cruises are perfect for clients. We're going to talk a little bit about cruises, obviously, who want to see multiple countries without the hassle of packing and unpacking. We know the new MSC World Europa. I know some of you have clients that went there, right? And probably had an amazing time as well because that ship is absolutely gorgeous. So Nice, Monaco, Marseille in France, plus Spain and Italy. It's like the greatest hits of the Mediterranean, usually about 7 to 14 day cruises. And I think they're absolutely spectacular. I've had multiple clients go on cruises like these and get to see the before and after countries. And they're like, we're going again. But here's where you can really wow your high-end clients, the French Riviera yacht charters. And we have partners we know of that actually they have this opportunity where we can actually book through them, right? So we're basically talking about fancy people like Natalie Graham, who took a helicopter to Saint Tropez. Like, girl, like luxury yacht sailing from Saint Tropez to Monaco. Yes, your clients wake up in different glamorous ports every day with crew catering to their every needs. Very fancy, perfect for special occasions, milestone birthdays, or basically when money is not an object. This is where you would send your clients. And don't forget river cruises. I know Yana's going on a river cruise to Europe in November. Lucky, for example, here in France would be the Rhone River. From Lyon to Avignon, they take you through the Provence, through Burgundy wine countries and regions. It's honestly luxury with the cultural twist a little bit, perfect for wine lovers and also people who want to be pampered while they learn about all these new places. So cruise clients love convenience and luxury. That's what we learn, right? And when they see the Riviera from the water, they don't have to go dive into the water and see it from the water. They don't have to unpack or pack. They don't have to plan anything because you've done everything. And these yachts or cruises actually have it all planned for them. This is literally pure indulgence. They become clients of yours for life because you just gave them an experience of a lifetime. I have an example of a 7 day itinerary, guys. This is a perfect week on the Côte d'Azur, which is Nice area, the French Riviera. This itinerary has been tested by a few people of my travelers, obviously, and it never fails to impress. I will say that. Part of it I did myself and absolutely loved it. So I would recommend days 1 and 2 in Nice. This is going to be your soft landing into the Riviera luxury. You got the promenade for that iconic Mediterranean stroll. You also have the Old Town. It's more of an authentic charm to it. You got the Castle Hill for the panoramic views that'll break their cameras and you'll have no space on your phone, which happened to me at the wrong moment. And I had to start deleting pictures. But yeah, you also see the Chagall Museum, the Russian Orthodox Cathedral, very popular there. And honestly, a lot of culture, added to the glamour of this lifestyle. On day 3, I would suggest Monaco. It's a perfect 1 day trip. You don't need more than that, because in that previous picture with the casino that I mentioned, that's literally it to it. And then behind that is the waterfront with the yachts. So Monaco is tiny, very tiny, but it's very mighty. Monte Carlo Casino feels like James Bond. The Princess Palace for royalty history. Monacoville for that fairy tale experience. Also, we have the Oceanographic Museum. It's a world class if they love marina life and marine life, like different stuff like that. That would be somewhere to go because it's very popular worldwide. Days 4 and 5, I would split. Sorry, talking too much. Split between Cannes and Antibes. Cannes give them that film festival glamour, and Antibes balances it out with Picasso museums. So that's something. It's very authentic old town charm. It's very nice, has some of the world's most famous expensive yachts as well. So perfect for dreaming, just sitting there and just, drinking your coffee with your croissant because that's all I can afford and enjoy the beautiful waters. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was day 4 and 5, right? Now, day 6 and 7 would be Saint Tropez, the grand finale. That's the beautiful, and I think we're going to go there next year. Luxury beaches. That's where a simple lunch can cost you $100. The old fishing port that is now a billionaire's playground. Very beautiful. The Pamplona Beach for celebrity spotting. This is where everybody goes to spot some celebrities, and usually you see them there all the time. And the views for perfect sunset photos is basically there in Saint Tropez. So, as a pro tip for you guys, book the accommodations early, especially in Saint Tropez. This is why I never made it there while I was in that area because it's always overbooked. Summer availability disappears faster. Think about this, faster than champagne at a yacht party. You will not find a place to stay if you don't book ahead. So make sure you plan ahead. Don't excite your clients and not be able to find them a room to stay at. Here's a short little 3 day itinerary that I usually use and I would recommend as well. Because in Paris, 3 days, they might seem short, but with the right itinerary, your clients, they will see the essential Paris and leave wanting more room, which means repeating bookings. This here, right here on the left, the picture, this is the Hall of Mirrors in Palace of Versailles. It's beautiful. So these are just some of the pictures that I wanted to focus on and show you. So day 1 in Paris, this could be a classic Paris day. The greatest hits, right? Start with the Eiffel Tower in the morning when crowds are lighter. Then you're going to go to the Trocadero. That's like across the river with the Eiffel Tower in the background, the famous place for pictures that people take. Then we have the Seine River cruise, which gives them the city from a different perspective. And then we have the Notre Dame and the Saint Chapelle evenings. Basically, the Arc of Triumph in the evening for that moment. Like you can post and be like, oh, I'm really in Paris because of that. But it's honestly really beautiful there. You can see everything in 1 day. Like Paris is very spread out. It's a very big city. It's very spread out. Unlike Nice is very close together, right? Paris is very spread out. So you do need more than 1 day, 100%. Unless you just want to see the Eiffel Tower for a check mark, sure. But if you want to actually see the other, like the Louvre, like the museum, that you need more than 1 day. Day 2 is art and culture days. I would recommend you see the Louvre Museum in the morning. The Mona Lisa. By the way, the Mona Lisa is tiny. Oh, who's seen the Mona Lisa? Share in the chat. But like when we went in there and we saw that the Mona Lisa was no bigger, literally like, well, maybe a little bigger, like a regular piece of paper. I don't know if you guys can see my face. No, regular piece of paper is literally what it looks like. And it's on the huge wall. And it's like, obviously, it has like the border, like the glass border there, so you don't do anything to it or whatever. But like, when I saw it, I was like, this is it. Like, I thought it was like a big painting, and it's not. So you got that. Also, pre-book those tickets because you're going to waste time in line That's for sure. We have the different gardens for peaceful strolls, very beautiful. We have luxury shopping there as well. Evening in Montmartre, I can't say it. The Sacré-Cœur for sunset. I remember we went there in the evening. It's literally on a hill with the view of Paris. And you've got that famous church behind with that dome. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's got, especially in spring, it has the what are they called? Cherry blossoms. Oh, it's so beautiful there. So that's what we did. We went there in the evening. There's also a little like town area, which has really good food, by the way, and the coffee shop there that we went to. Ugh. So we got some coffee and we just sat in front of that church with the view of Paris. I'm telling you, it was amazing. It's so beautiful, and your clients are going to love that day. Very relaxing, very just Paris feel to it. And day three, I would recommend Palace of Versailles. This is a non-negotiable. If they're in Paris, they need to see this palace, right? These pictures that I have here. Take a morning tour, Gardens of Versailles in the afternoon, right after. Rent a golf cart if it's summer, right? Like I mentioned, Marie Antoinette's estate for that. Lifestyle to see how her home and her own little palace, right? Return to Paris for dinner, have something, I don't know, very popular for the Latin quarters. They also have some, they have a lot of restaurants there you can Google and find like good reviews for your people. Or just message me. I can recommend a few as well. Perfect ending to a perfect 3 days in Paris. So that's what I would say. So the secret of Paris booking is you have to pre-book everything. FYI, Eiffel Tower has two restaurants. One is more of a budget friendly one, which is like 100 something per person. When we went, it was 100 something per person. It was like an 8 course meal, which was very good, with I believe like two drinks included or something like that. I don't remember because I don't drink. But there's that restaurant. And then they also have Jules Verne or something, unless they renamed it. But there was another one there, which is way more expensive, but like beautiful views from the tower. Plus the elevator to the restaurant is included and everything, but it's just really nice food. So if you guys can get into those restaurants for your clients, that's going to be a hit for them. So make sure you get that down. Skip the line tickets, obviously, restaurant reservations, even metro passes if you can. But again, we don't do metro, we just go with the flow because we like to feel like kind of like not we're not tourists, but like we're kind of like locals, right? Your clients will think that you are a miracle worker when you have everything planned out from A to Z for them and they don't have to stand in line for hours. All right, we're almost done, guys. Literally almost done. And then we'll do questions. So we're going to talk about business. These booking tips, they will make you look like you are a France expert and they're going to save your clients money and headaches. So peak season, like I mentioned, is June through August. That's when everyone wants to go to France. Prices are the highest, crowds are insane, and availability does disappear. Again, we went in June, July. Maybe we just got lucky. It wasn't bad at all. I would still go, even if there's crowds there. I would still go because it is worth going to France regardless. Smart agents, they book clients for shoulder seasons, April, May, or September and October. Same beautiful weather, better prices, fewer crowds, happier clients. That's all I'm going to say. Transportation there is not hard at all. You got the high-speed trains. We do that all the time. I love the trains because the train takes you outside of the outskirts of France, of the cities, and you get to see more. Because I'm not going to just drive to a field. But when you see all these beautiful hills and fields, and you got like these sheep and cows everywhere, it's like, what? So yeah, for multiple city trips, you do use the train, but for countryside exploration, we do recommend getting a car rental, and you can just enjoy, stop by anywhere, and just have fun. Accommodation strategies. Palace hotels for ultimate luxury. If somebody wants luxuries, think about palace hotels. Think like Le Meurice in Paris, Hotel Martinez and Cannes. Like you can Google, there's a lot of really nice places. If you got boutique properties and history buildings, or those are more for like the like middle price. And then chain hotels are for value budget friendly travelers, like Holiday Inn and stuff like that. So always match their stays to the client's budget and their style. You want to book 3 to 6 months ahead for peak season. Remember that. And then 2 to 3 months for shoulder season. Always get travel insurance. You never know, especially for high-end trips. I had somebody who went to the Amalfi Coast. And they had a really good hotel. And guess what? Her jewelry got stolen. And she was like, what? And she had it in the safe box. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, I can't help you. I wish you had travel insurance. But she didn't have travel insurance. So she's like, we learned a lesson. No matter how rich you are and you can afford, get that travel insurance. But yeah, she missed out on some Hermes and Cartier bracelets. Telling you, crazy stuff happens. She's like, at least we had our passport on us. So here's your secret weapon. You build relationship with local suppliers. They'll save you a lot of money. It's kind of like we went to Jamaica, and apparently the transportation guy was a local one of our friends, and now apparently a whole team, when we have clients to Jamaica, gets transportation through him. So build relationships with people. Okay, get in contact with people. And the last slide is, I know we've covered a lot of ground today. We've got a lot of things I gave you the info on, from Parisian glamour to luxury lifestyle, to the different mountains and rivers and medieval castles and everything. I want to wrap these main keys, takeaways with you guys. So now that you are a France expert, right, you understand that France truly offers experiences for every client type and budget. So romantic couples, maybe luxury seekers, you got some people who are into history, right? You got foodies, adventure travelers. France has it all for you guys, and it's going to be absolutely unforgettable. Your client's consultation strategy is you better match regions to, well, their interests. So talk to them. Find what their interests are. Culture lovers, they get Paris, as we learned, right? Luxury seekers, they get the Riviera. History gets the Loire Valley and the castles. And foodies, they go to Lyon. It's that simple. For first timers, the magic formula is Paris plus another country. Remember that. Oh, sorry, another region. Remember that, okay? You don't want to overwhelm them, but you also want to give them variety. So for repeat visitors, you got those incredible hidden gems. I would recommend those. That'll make them feel like they discovered the secrets of France. Okay. And then your action items as a travel advisor, you want to practice those client consultation questions that we talked about. Maybe Google some more, ChatGPT some more, see what you need to ask, how to qualify your clients. You want to get familiar with the seasonal pricings so you can offer them the best value, and you want to build a relationship with some France experts, maybe through Instagram. I've built some relationship through Instagram as well. They're your secret weapon for complex itineraries. Maybe going to events, meeting the BDMs as well, and stuff like that. Stay updated on new attractions, new experiences. We also have our chats you can ask questions in, because France is evolving every single day. There's always something added. I mean, the world is evolving. Come on, France obviously will evolve as well. So I want you guys to remember that every client you send to France, it becomes a walking advertisement for your business and your expertise. So they come back with stories. They come back with photos. Ask them to tag you. Ask them to leave you a review or whatever. France isn't just a destination, it is your ticket to building a reputation as a professional travel agent who creates some very magical moments for families, for lovers, for, anybody, right? Because these are going to be magical, very life-changing experiences. All right. This is it from me. I don't know if there's any more questions. I do want to say, don't forget that France Tourism Board, check on that. It has incredible resources for us as travel agents. We have supplier training programs. We have fam trip opportunities if you're able to go. And if you see anything, post it in the chat because I'll go with you. So we have a lot of really cool resources that we can use. So we can use this every day for advertising, for sharing with clients and asking. So this is it from me, guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to read through these right now. Let me see. Okay. Beautiful place. This is a magnificent indeed. Where did you purchase tickets? At which supplier? I'm a foodie. Okay, so for flights, we have Fairbus, Skybird, we have Centrav, we have IntelliTravel back office. I personally book through Expedia or Orbitz for myself because I get points there, but that's where you would look. Purchase tickets for flights, right? For hotels, I go through TBO and Beds Online because I like to add my own commission. If it's my trip, I don't obviously add commission, so I use TBO for myself. So far, I never had a problem. For tours, I use Viator. That's one of my favorites. And then they have my link, and if they want to cancel or book another tour, they would do that as well. My phone. Okay. 6%. Does anybody have a question? I need to go grab my charger because my computer is about to die, apparently. What's the best way to get around between regions and cities? I would say trains, 100% trains between cities. If it's close. If it's far, obviously you want to fly. That's something that I would recommend. Which supplier do you use to book Paris trip? Like I said, for flights, whatever you find the best deal. You don't get much commission for flights, unfortunately. So sometimes I even tell my clients, here's the flight itinerary, book it yourself. And they can just book it and get their own points. A lot of them also have credit cards that they use for flights, which is also fine. But for hotels, I use TBO and Beds Online and also IntelliTravel Back Office and Expedia Tap. 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and then there goes my dog, literally running after me. She thought I'm leaving. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Do you have any insights into skiing in the French Alps? So we actually went to Switzerland with my husband one winter for my birthday, which was our very first European winter trip. Which, if you haven't done a winter trip, guys, to Europe, I'm telling you, you're missing out on a whole different kind of travel. We went to Finland. We saw the deer. We saw the reindeer. We saw what else? The huskies. Like it was so magical. It was like very different. We went to the not the French Alps. We went to the Swiss Alps. So there we didn't plan to go skiing, but I also booked everything like I already mentioned through TBO, wherever I could find better deals, and then flights on my own because I got points. But we just bought it there. But we do have suppliers. I'm not sure which ones exactly. You're gonna have to ask in the chats because I've only booked skiing once. But we do have suppliers like Scepter. They do a full on. You can ask them. Exotica probably has something as well, and I like Exotica because it has a full on itinerary with tours included, so that could be there as well. But we literally stayed at a hotel in Zermatt, Switzerland, and then my husband went skiing. He literally went to a local shop, rented out some ski pants and a ski outfit, whatever, and then he got himself or a snowboard, and then he went and skied all day. He said it was one of the best experience of his life, and he wants to take all his brother-in-laws together and have like a guys trip and go out and So definitely, if you guys are into mountains, if you have somebody who's into mountains, this is worth it. So do it. Book it wherever you find it or just there. We did find it a little bit, we found it there. And I feel like for 100 and I think it was like 130 euros, he had this day pass. Actually, it's cheaper too. We go skiing here in our area and they pay way more, like double, triple price than what we paid there. So it is cheaper there and it's beautiful. He's like, you're skiing through and then you see glaciers, you see all these frozen lakes. He's like, it's just a whole different experience. Trains commissionable. So here's about the trains. I did not find a supplier that has trains. I go through Rome to Rio, just a regular supplier. That's why I add a commission on top through hotels because you're not going to make much money when you do a Europe trip unless you add commissions. Because think about it, you will only make money, like legit money from hotels or tours, right? So let's say a hotel is about $250 a night for a decent, I think that's decent, with a private bathroom. 250, what's 10% of that? And then what's 70% of that? You're going to get nothing. That's why for hotels, I do add commission always, so I can at least make up for the work that I'm doing. And I think TBO has trains, so you're just going to add a commission on top. So yes, it is kind of commissionable. It's up to you. But if you find a supplier, please let me know because that's the one where I'm a little bit stuck. I can't find a supplier in Europe with trains, but I think they have something. Somebody mentioned that there is. Was it with railroad bookers? I think so, that they also had European trains. So check that one out. How do you build custom itinerary? Do you use Traveljoy? No, I don't use Traveljoy at all. I literally do it myself because I can kind of tell, so the first trip that we went was Italy ever. And for us, we tried to cram in 1 week, we crammed in 6 different places. 1 week, six. Can you imagine? No, 5 different places, but still, like that's 1 day per city. That was not enough. We felt rushed. Thank God we did Rome. We did an extra day in Rome. And then that's after that trip, I was like, I don't care what the internet says, but if the internet says you need 2 days in Paris, you need 3 days. I always add an extra day, always, always add. And it's so much better. You get to actually experience and enjoy. I would start out with ChatGPT to give me ideas, but you have to then logically sit and think, this is where the train is. How far is it from the center of the city? Because you don't want them to stay outside of the city. Because at the end of the day, when you explore it all day, you don't like that's what we did in Paris because we stayed at an airport hotel because we were going to leave very early in the morning. But we went into Paris and then we had an hour to drive to our hotel, and I'm like exhausted, falling asleep. And then I can't fall asleep because we got to get into the hotel. Like it's just a mess. So I'm just saying 3 days for big cities minimum, but I would add more. So yeah, basically how I do these itineraries is I actually do it all myself. I literally sit there and like think through the whole process because it's not just flying in and you enjoy. How do you get there? What's transportation are you going to use? Blah, blah, blah. Where is the hotel? Would it be better to do it here or here? You got to really think through everything. So if the hotel is better here, it may be cheaper, but how far is it from all the attractions? Oh, okay. So I'd rather have the hotel inside the city so they can walk in distance and enjoy the city, but it'll be a little bit more expensive. And that's what I tell the clients when I talk to them. I'm like, my opinion is this, but you will have to pay a little bit extra. You ready? Yes. Okay, good. So you kind of want to tell them. You also want to tell them that European hotels are tiny, very tiny. And you also want to tell them that they are also, some of them don't have private bathrooms. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Not every European hotel has private bathrooms. Where do you book activities? V8er is where I book activities. Thank you so much. Very informative. You're welcome. Even 3 days is not enough. Nope. I feel Paris. There's so much more to see in Paris. And Paris is so spread out. There is a lot to see in Paris. How you put them together and send it to the client to approve. So that's what I do. I do use TravelDrift for that because I like that it has whatever the credit card thing. But I also just do it just as an email. Let's say I don't go fancy. You don't have time for fancy. You're going to spend days trying to put this itinerary together. You don't have time for fancy. If you can, you do it. Just send it to them. But I know people literally just some people just text it. I do like to put it little like make it easier to understand and readable. I do use ChatGPT to help me with that, and then I would just email them or send it to them as a file, PDF file. So are there any other questions? If not, this is kind of it. I do appreciate you all hanging out with me today. There's a lot of us here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, that's it. If anybody else has any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask. Other than that, I'm done. Thank you. We good? All right, guys, have a great day today. I will see you all some other call. Bye. Thank you so much. See you guys later.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.